Testing. Hello? Is there anybody out there at all? Anybody? Hello? No? Oh. Well, I'm waiting for somebody to answer. I might as well tell you a little bit about myself. My name's Geoffrey Anderson. Although there's no need for formality now that most of you have been burnt alive in a nuclear holocaust, you can just call me Geoff Anderson. I'm currently here where I've been for the last year or so, in the basement of the local little supermarket, where I fortuitously happened to end up when those death bombs of mass destruction started raining, wiping out countless millions of people in the blink of an eye. As it happens, I'm very comfortable here. I count myself as one of the most lucky people on God's earth right now, without a doubt. It was quite a fortuitous story, quite the thing how I ended up in Littles when the bombs started dropping. And I tell you now, I was actually sat on the toilet, so I was in exactly the right place, because I tell you, had I been standing up, my trousers would have been full of shite, I'll tell you now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure everybody who's managed to survive it got as big of a fright as I did, and maybe many of yous were instantly incontinent, not as lucky as I was to be on the toilet, and within reaching distance of the 3-ply shea butter toilet roll, very high quality, which sort of leads us on to tell you the story of how I ended up there. I was a regular customer here at Little's in South Shields, and I was lucky enough to be on friendly terms with Brian, the manager. And I've been here 4 or 5 times a week, and I've suffered for many years with irritable bowel syndrome. And Brian's a lovely fella, very understanding, and he'd often let me use his not just his facilities, but the staff facilities downstairs in the basement. Anybody who's familiar with Little's, you might know that one of their cost-cutting measures to bring such good value to the customers is that they don't have toilets like what Asda does. But Brian, bless his heart, he knew all about me condition. I'd known him for many years, and it was never a problem. Anyway, I was caught short, as often happens, and I went up to him, I just give him the wink. He says, no bother, Geoff, you know where it is. And as it turns out, it was a particularly bad bout of irritable bowel that I had. I'd been eating black pudding, which always sets us off. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit emotional thinking about it. And like I say, when the death bombs started raining and made that terrible noise, I'll never ever forget. I lost control of me bowels yet again on the toilet. I'm sorry, I'm sure yous are all as emotional as I am hearing about this. And there I was. I was there for some hours, and Brian must have locked up and went home before the bombs went off. This has happened before, actually, but I normally make myself comfortable. I have a little nap on the toilet, and the hours soon pass. And in the morning, he let us out. We've laughed about it many a time. you know, used to say to me, "Hey, Geoff, what you like? What are you like? Been on the bog and that." And then we'd laugh about it, but obviously there'll be no more laughing now because he's dead. Well, presumably dead anyway, just like me dear, presumably dead wife, Maureen. Margaret. Maureen Margaret, but I used to call her Margaret for short. I miss her more every day. More and more each day. She was my other half. Maureen Margaret, or Margaret for short. She completed me. And now I'm here, eking out an existence in the supermarket basement. I want for nothing. I'm king of everything I survey. And when I think about it in history, I've probably got more tins here than Richard III had, or Henry V, or just about any other king in history. I count myself one of the richest men ever to have lived. Few men have ever had as much food put away, and toiletries, and camping equipment. Some of that come in very handy, I tell you. But luckily enough, when the bombs dropped, as you might remember, it was summer, so littles had a run on camping stoves and sleeping bags, all sorts, everything I could need. It's as if I was meant to be here. I don't know if anybody out there understands that, but that's what I'm feeling. I was meant to survive this, and I was meant for something greater. So it hasn't been too hard the last year or so. Although, like I say, I have enough food and fizzy German water to bathe in. So sometimes I just wash my hair in fizzy German water, and I laugh about it, you know. Shampoo, I've got a load of that. There's half a pallet here in the warehouse. I'm never going to be short of shampoo and fizzy German water to wash it with. You know, I try my best to keep as clean as I can, and but there is one or two things I do miss. The first of all is this place hasn't got a DVD player. I've in the bargain buckets here, there's over 400 DVDs offering a range of entertainment from horror to romance to action adventure. And all I can do is read the box. So it's a little bit boring. There's an abundance of books here. Unfortunately, most of them are ladies' romance novels, which didn't interest us at first, but I'm starting to really get into them now, to be honest. But if anybody out there has survived the nuclear holocaust, the flames, the radiation sickness, the roving bands of mutants, and murderous brigands and such like, and if you survived all of that and you have got a DVD player, I am willing to trade. Hopefully somebody out there will hear this and approach me. Just to quickly tell you a few of the things we have got an abundance of here, which quite frankly I personally cannot stomach, but I'm sure if you've had now to eat for a year, you'll be taking me hand off for them. I have a load of frozen asparagus. I don't know if anybody's interested in that. It's just something I cannot abide. I had it once. I was when the Margaret sisters. It's a bit up my cell, you know. Bit fancy Margaret sister, and she served these asparagus with butter on, as if it were somewhat fancy. Anyway, half an hour later, I goes to the toilet like I had to. I got caught short again, and the smell that come off my number ones It was like sulphur or something. But that was enough to put me off for life. Asparagus, you can keep it. I'm not touching it. So if I'm quite willing to swap half a pallet of frozen asparagus there for a DVD player at least. Something else I've got a load of if anybody's interested is coffee. I'm not continental, so I'll make do with tea. I'm quite happy with tea. So there's all that business of coffee. Sweet corn, that's another thing. I, just like the asparagus, I tried it the once, but what that did to my number twos, I mean, it, I put it in one and it just comes out the other. That's not food, is it? Do you know what I mean? It can't be doing you any good if it comes out one end exactly the same way that it went in the other end. So I'm not very keen on sweet corn. There's plenty of that. Apart from a DVD player, I suppose I miss human contact. I've had a fair bit of mutant contact over the last few months. Often wandering bands of them start banging on the shutters, littles, shouting in unison, "We can smell you. Well, now you're in there. Come on out, fatty." But I'll just try and be as quiet as I can and I hide behind the tins until they go away. So far they haven't been too much of a bother. But human contact is something I miss. Especially my dear wife Margaret. And our little dog Snowy. Aye. It all comes flooding back to us. I'm sorry, I'm just a little bit touch emotional, I think, especially Snowy, as he was often better company than Margaret, to be honest. I could talk to Snowy about things. She'd often come in my shed, and I'd be feeling down, maybe having a little bit tear in myself about my miserable marriage and that, and little Snowy, she just started licking me hand, a little loving eyes looking up at us. She's going, "It's alright, Dad, it's alright. It doesn't matter that you're married to a miserable harridan who doesn't like you very much and who won't let you touch you. All of that doesn't matter, Dad. Keep smiling." And, I did keep smiling. So, it's at times like this I miss Snowy, especially in a little jolly face that used to cheer us up when things weren't as bad as a nuclear holocaust. So I really could do with that company right now, that's for certain. But so that's basically it. That's the reason I've started broadcasting with a CB radio. Hopefully somebody human out there who hasn't got cannibalistic tendencies would like to get in touch. And hopefully a human being who isn't a cannibal and with a DVD player, that would be ideal.